Hey guys, what is going on? This is Travis P11, and I just wanted to take a few minutes and just talk to you about my latest AR-15 build, or assembly of parts, I guess, if you will say. So, about a week or two ago, I showed you this Bear Creek Arsenal upper, and this is probably the first time that I put together components for an AR-15 and assembled an AR-15 without any real idea behind it or a real purpose. It seems like every time I've put together it's an AR, it's because I wanted to try a pistol on this caliber, I wanted to try, an upper with this type of gas system on it, and so on. But this time around, the situation was I just had a PSA complete lower sitting around, Magpul furniture on it, decided let's just try something maybe a little bit different. Sort of. So anyway, this upper that we have right here, the Bear Creek Arsenal 16-inch upper, we'll just talk about some of the features that it has and what it offers. It was an incredible value. Now I scored it for $212 complete. That was about a month ago. Delivered, it was about $239. I believe it has a 15-inch handguard. It is M-LOK compatible. Got a little bit of Mall Ninja going up on the front there, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. What I really like about it is you've got a Picatinny section in the rear, Picatinny section up on the front. The whole upper itself only weighs 5.3 pounds, and it is M-LOK compatible. Does have QD points built into the handguard, which is really nice. This does save you from having to buy, additional mounting points and so on, although you're limited to the front and the back unless you want to buy your own mounting QD points. The flip-up sights we have on the front and the rear are UTG AR-15 super slim flip-up sights. They are all metal. They do have a nice little detent with like a little plastic ball that locks into place when you put them up, so they do stay up. Now these sights, I have used them on probably about 6 different AR builds and never had a problem with them. Never had them come loose, never had them break. They are A2 front sight compatible with the tool. They do fit really well. A pair of them delivered is about 50 bucks on Amazon, which is not bad. And I know once in a while you can get your MOE sights and you can pick them up for, a little bit less than that, like on PSA and stuff like that. I'm running a bit of an aggressive vertical foregrip on the front. It's really far forward, and I typically have my vertical foregrips towards the midsection, but I just wanted to try something a little bit different. Now the handguard is a lot thinner. This is a Carbine link gas system. So again, it's going to be not quite as smooth as a mid-length, and your gas system, basically your gas tube comes up right around here. So if you're gripping it around there, that could be an issue. It could heat up quick. So that's something to keep in mind if you happen to buy this particular upper. Now this upper, unfortunately, was not available with the mid-length gas system, but I'm totally fine with that. And like I said, I paid $212 for it with the bolt carrier group and the charge handle. The optic on the top, you've seen it before. It's just the basic primary arms classic red dot. We'll show you guys the other side of this AR in just a little bit. This thing's been fantastic. I've tested on many different ARs, never had a problem with it. Shot it on my Century C308. I've shot this on 300 Blackout, 762 by 39, Bear Creek upper, and so on. Never had a problem with it. The upper itself weighs 5.3 pounds. It is a rear charger. I decided to go away from the side charging model just because it puts you in a proprietary bolt carrier group, and I wasn't really interested in anything like that. Muzzle device up on the front. I will talk about the thread pitch here in just a second. It is Bear Creek Arsenal's own design, and it does work pretty good. It does do a pretty good job at flash and concussion mitigation, and I do find it to be fairly comfortable in the firing line on other uppers that I have from Bear Creek Arsenal. Now, I've had about a dozen uppers from Bear Creek Arsenal and several complete rifles from them. They're about 9 and 3 with me. I've never had any major failures to the point that the gun wouldn't fire. Never had like a detonation or anything like that. Mainly just issues with the gas blocks and things that I tend to check for when I order from them. I've had better luck with PSA, and my go-to war rifle is the Daniel Defense DDM 4A1, which I absolutely love. Now let's go through the specs real quick on the upper. I just want to get you the details. They're currently $259. I don't have any kind of an affiliate link or discount code for that particular upper. And if you buy anything that you see here, again, I'm not going to benefit from it. No links to give you, but do check prices, as the prices do vary quite a bit. All right, here's some information on that upper real quick. Now, if you go to buy this, what you want to look for is the BC-15 5.56 NATO upper. So it is technically 5.56. I believe I got the 223 Wild variant, which is basically the same price if you look around. 16-inch Parkerized M4 barrel, 1 and 8 twist Carbine link gas system, and a 15-inch M-LOK handguard like I mentioned before. The weight again is 5.3 pounds. The profile's M4 contour. Parkerized finish. Material of the barrel is 4150 chrome moly vanadium. Thread pitch is 1/2 inch by 28. And again, this one's chambered in 5.56 NATO, but mine is 223 Wild. You do have M4 feed ramps. No flutes on it. Your gas block system is .750. Gas hole diameter is .070. And again, like I said before, it is a rear charging system. Now, the lower is just your standard blemished Palmetto State Armory Magpul, just non-EPT trigger kit. It does not have the enhanced trigger group in it. It's just the standard mil-spec trigger. Just has the basic MOE pistol grip on it. Just had a standard M4 stock on it, and that was all. Now let's talk about the stock for a little bit. First of all, a little shout out to Defense Dad. He's the one that talked about this stock and mentioned how much I need to try it. It looks like a B5 Systems stock. It's very similar to the design of it, the way that it tapers down. Now, Defense Dad has a very awesome beard, and he says that the texturing on it, the way it's designed, it does not catch on a beard, it doesn't pull. So if you have a stock that drives you nuts because it's real rubberized and your beard gets caught on it or pulls when you're shooting, very annoying, not an issue with this stock. Has some really cool features in it. It is very easy to adjust. It does have aggressive stippling down here on the adjustment knob, I guess you could say, or button. So it doesn't slip or slide if you need to make quick adjustments, especially if your hands are wet. It's going to grip. Again, the texture is awesome on the bottom there. It does have a reversible QD mount point, which is built into it. It does have your standard sling slit built into the stock. It does have a nice thick rear buttstock, which should mitigate some of the shock that you feel, some of the recoil. It does have 2 waterproof compartments that will take, I think it's set up to 6 CR123 batteries, so you could use those compartments to put extra supplies in there if you want to. You simply pop off the little caps here on the back, and you can load any supplies in there you want to. Now, the stock itself is only $36, which is an incredible value. It does have one really awesome feature that I think is better than Magpul MOE, which I'm a huge fan of, and I've been using it for years, but decided to switch. All right, so it's $36. Delivered, I think I paid around $50. I could have got the B5 system stock for, I want to say maybe around $50 or so if I would have went with an authentic stock, but UTG is pretty good. And UTG, so this stock is actually made in the USA, designed in the USA. So when UTG makes their products, they're either made in the USA, the Pro Series is also, or UTG products are made in Taiwan. So you're not getting stuff made in China. UTG does have offices here in the USA, which is really good, especially if you need customer support. Just real quick, taking it back to the sights real quick, I wanted to mention this. They do lock up into place, and they do have a spring-loaded plunger right here that's going to prevent them from falling back. I've never had these fail before, and this is a brand new set, and I love them. I keep coming back to them. They do lower co-witness with the primary arms red dot, their classic red dot that I'm showing here. This is pretty easy to find. If you look at the design, they only sell one like this on the primary arms website. You can get it with red or green. I think mine is only red if I'm not mistaken. And the riser, I think it's a 3/4 inch riser. You'll have to go back and check the review for the stock on my channel, and I'll give you the specifics of what I mounted with it, or I'll put a link to it at the end of this video. Up on the front, do have a positive engagement. You can hear lock into place. A little bit of play, but not much more than what I've ever seen with any other iron sight. Again, spring-loaded retention button here. You push down on it. Locks back down into place. Definitely stays out of the way. Clearance on the front with a weapons light. You have plenty of room up there too, which is really nice. And again, just checking out the profile of that stock back here. It does kind of taper off at an angle on both sides, which makes it really, really comfortable. Definitely gives you much better cheek support than a basic MOE stock. You do have about a 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch clearance from the bottom of the charging handle to the top of the stock. Some people had mentioned that they had the charging handle run into the stock, so they had to sand it down. Not a problem with the Palmetto State Armory lower. Not an issue at all. So just as a comparison with this and the Magpul stock, I want to get the Magpul stock out and show you something about it real quick. So with the stock, it is significantly larger. You can see the difference between it. This thing's probably about 20% bigger overall than an MOE stock. Just kind of holding the two together, you can kind of see that size difference. Or I'll just put them or actually line them up appropriately here. So the Magpul MOE stock is only about 7 inches long. The UTG stock is 8 1/4 inches long. What I love about this is it almost feels like a one-piece, like A2 style stock. I really don't even have to adjust it or pull it out to use it. It's just the perfect length for me. Now I've got medium length arms. I'm 5'10", and this is awesome. I might have to make like one little adjustment to pull it out if possible, but the way that it rides up into the castle nut and so on, it definitely gives you a lot more purchase for your face. I mean, you can see how much larger that stock is just as a comparison. So again, nothing against the MOE stock, but for the same price, I'm pretty much stuck on these from here on out. I'm just going to buy these as stocks. Now, the trade-off to this is that you are looking at probably about maybe 8 ounces more for weight. I didn't put the two on a scale, but you can just feel the weight of it. It's a little bit different, but it also kind of balances out the rifle a little bit more. Putting a little bit of weight on the rear helps to kind of mitigate the front heaviness you get with an all aluminum handguard up on the front. All right, let's go and flip the rifle around real quick and we'll take a look at the other side. By the way, the sweet stands here can be found at rnldisplays.com, and if you use discount code TravisP11, you get 15% off your order. They also had some Veterans Day specials going on too, so make sure you check out the website. I will put a link to rnldisplays.com in the description box, so a very nice way to display your AR-15 if you want to. Kind of show you the other side now and what it looks like. So here's the thing, because that stock rides right up on that castle nut, there's no play on this. It is secure up against it. When you pull it out, very minimal play. I mean, very, very little, no more than what I see with my Magpul MOE stocks. And I just love it. It's just a very good stock. Again, American made, American design, just sturdy, man. It just has a little bit of heft to it, and I like that. Again, standard MOE grip. I'm not sure which one this is. This is whatever comes with PSA's Magpul Complete Lowers. You see the red dot on there. That's the model. It's the MD-RBG-2. And then there's just a number that follows it. You guys can find that on the Primary Arms website. Only issue I really run into, okay, this gives me kind of a nice, almost like a CQB, you know, set up on the stock. This is just the Butler Creek stock. They're like 15 bucks at Walmart. Neoprene, these things are so comfortable, especially for all-day use. You want to throw it over your shoulder, go walking around doing some varmint hunting or whatnot. These slings are just awesome. So for under $15, $20, you really can't beat it. They used to be 10 or 12 bucks at Walmart. They've gone up a little bit more. Sling point, this is a standard sling mount. It does fit right into the QD mount right there in the handguard, which is a little hard to see because of the black on black, but put it in there, it locks into place. And the only issue I run into is unless I put a different mounting point for that sling, up on the front, it's a little crowded. So I can put the QD mount up here, but it's also going to cause some issues with the button, the handle for the button, which the mount on this thing is just huge. I mean, generally they tend to be fairly large, but the ONGL high-low buttons that you have on it, very ergonomic and very easy to use. They mount on a section of Picatinny rail, which is M-locked to this handguard. Problem is, it's just large, and so it kind of gets in the way. So I'm still going to keep the light on here. This light's awesome because you can also detach it and use it as a standalone flashlight. And it also has a laser built into it too, so it's a laser flashlight combo. Did a review on that. I'll put a link to that also on my channel. Maybe I'll do a playlist for this whole rifle, and you can check out all the parts that I've tested on it. And you can see the front of it. Now, what's nice about this 15-inch handguard is you have just enough clearance here, probably about a half an inch of clearance. You could put a suppressor on here if you wanted to take off the muzzle device. And that's one thing I do like about it. The old Bear Creek ones used to go right up to the threads, which was a major pain in the butt. Especially trying to take them off was not easy. And they finally changed that design with this handguard that tapers down. Really reminds me of like an Aero Precision Atlas One handguard. That's definitely what I take when I see it. So overall, it's a great rifle. You know, if you don't count the ONGL, which was sent to me from Olight, I think I have a total of, I'd say probably 600 total in this thing. You guys can do the math, about 125 for the lower, well, about 140 for the lower, 212 for the upper, 80 for the red dot, 50 for the stock, 50 for the sights, $22 for the handguard. And again, a lot of that stuff is just not necessary. You don't have to have a light on the front. You don't have to have a red dot. You can function with just iron sights. You know, the stock, I mean, like I said, $36 if you can buy it locally, 50 bucks online delivered. Really not a bad deal. It's just a standard mil-spec trigger. So this is probably going to be the truck gun, so to speak, the go-to I'll just have on the ready and take with me when I hit the road, when I go visit family and so on, or if I'm going to go out and do some shooting and whatnot. We'll get this one broken in. This upper, again, you can talk smack about it, but we tested an upper identical to this one for Thunder on the Prairie 2022, and it shot, I think it was 0.75 of an inch at 25 yards, a little over an inch at 50 yards with just a red dot on it, with just us guys shooting it from a lead sled. I'm sure you could easily pull off a 1-inch MOA with this with the right ammo. That was shooting 55 grain, and if you had a nice optic on here, you could easily pull that off. We were shooting with a 3-power Monstrum. Oh, I think it was the Marksman scope is what we used. It worked really well on this particular upper. So again, not an expensive setup, just something that's going to be efficient, that's going to get the job done. And again, I'm really happy with this. So you can see just the simple sling mount on it. It's just a nice all-around carbine. And the fact you could buy all this stuff in separate components and take your time makes it very budget-friendly for people too. Like I said, right now, the upper is going for $259, whether you want the 223 Wild or the 5.56. That's pretty much what you're going to pay, and then probably $20 for delivery, another $10 for sales tax. You're looking at about $300 delivered. I got lucky and got it for $240 delivered just because they were on sale. But Bear Creek does that a lot. They do put them on sale quite a bit. So anyway, that's my take on this basic build with the Palmetto State Armory lower. It's just your standard blemish carbine lower, and your 16-inch with a 15-inch handguard. Bear Creek Arsenal BC-15 rear charging upper. So there you go. We'll see how well it functions. We'll see if it has any issues. If it does, it's definitely going to go back to Bear Creek Arsenal. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe. You can check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find me on Odyssey, UGEtube, let's see, guntube.org. I'm also over there too. And we have a little podcast we do on Saturday called Caliber Corner, which we do Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Central Time. And you can find that right over here on YouTube. So this is Travis P11. I want to thank you guys for checking out this very simple build. I'm excited, trying some new parts, new components, and new brands I haven't done before. And we will let you guys know how it works. I want you guys to have fun. I want you to be safe. Get out to the range and have a good time. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.